we called to submit to unjust rulers?
We are called to submit to rulers and even unjust rulers, but we are not called to submit to injustice. And I think that's the distinction we have to make, especially today. I think the simple answer is always, well, as long as the Bible, the ruler doesn't command you to sin, you have to obey him. And I don't think that's an accurate answer anymore. I think that's an easy default position. Well, as long as they don't command you to sin. But there's many examples in Scripture where Paul, and I think Paul is the example to use because Romans had rights. Roman citizens had particular rights that the rulers had to obey or had to respect, even the emperor. Remember, Rome started out as a constitutional republic like America. So I think that's the closest analogy we have. And multiple times in the book of Acts, magistrates would order Paul to do something. It wasn't a sin for him to do it, but they violated his rights. And so he said no. A couple of places that I really like. Acts 16:35. And when it was day, the magistrates sent the officers saying, "Let those men go." This is after they beat Paul and Barnabas. So the keeper of the prison reported these things to Paul, saying, "The magistrates have sent to you now to let you go. Now therefore go in peace." Now he's just been commanded to go in peace by the ruler. Paul said to them, "They have beaten us openly, uncondemned Romans, and have thrown us into prison. And now do they put us out secretly? No, indeed." No, indeed. He says no to the magistrate when it would not have been a sin for him to leave because they violated his rights. I think more and more in America, we need to be ready to stand up for our rights because we have rights that our leaders are supposed to respect. And if they don't, we can say no to them.
Right. Yeah. So, Ray, I would say, and I agree with what you said, but do you think it implied within this question when they say unjust rulers actually means unjust policies? You know what I'm saying? They said unjust rulers. But it seems to me that and maybe I'm going a little too deep than I should be going, but it seems like implied within this is, the policies that these unjust rulers set. For instance, when Nebuchadnezzar said that everybody had to bow down to the statue, that was a policy, and you see Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you see them, refusing to do what the ruler had commanded.
Or the midwives that wouldn't kill in Egypt. Right. It would not kill the babies.
Well, think about what's happening right now, even in Canada, and trying to creep its way over to here, where, if you're not willing to marry homosexual marriages and transgender marriages, they're putting people in jail in Canada. And now it's trying to even creep over to here, where, you're considered hateful if you say that homosexuality and things like that is a sin. So back to what you were saying, we're a lot closer than we think. We were just on Hope Today and interviewed a girl that was on there, and she was talking about how, I said, what do you feel God's saying prophetically, that persecution is coming? And we're going to have to make a decision to make these stances against these things that are coming against the Word of God.
Yeah. Well, how about if it should ever come that there's a mandate, all have to do this, and all have, what I'm saying? Yeah, and you got to honor both sides' convictions.
Right. Well, you know what's interesting with that trucker situation in Canada, when they were trying to get those guys off the bridge and stuff. One of the things that I read that they were going to start doing, that if you didn't leave, that they were going to start freezing your bank accounts. And so, when you talk about that, that's taking it to another level. When you say that, okay, here the government is, and they're actually trying to control the situation, and now they're going to start freezing people's bank accounts.
It's interesting. Scripturally, I think we've given some examples. If you study some of the reformers, Tyndale and Luther and Huss and Wycliffe and all the things that they totally disobeyed their ecclesiastical and governmental authorities in order to do the will of God. So
Tyndale, to the point that it meant his life.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how much he was so in love with the Word of God.